Hello, and welcome yet again to yet another little bit of ramblings. I kind of like this, how it's all just, almost encircling me. Maybe in the future. Anyway, so I wanted to bring attention to youth, and we're getting to the end of the year in a few weeks. A couple of movies that I thought was rather interesting in comparison, just to kind of talk about, review a little bit about each, was the Flight movie with Denzel and the Sully movie with Tom Hanks. Now, both have, both are about planes that have crashed. Both are portrayed by, one of the better stars in Hollywood. So no lack of star power or quality there. Both have really good directors, cinematography. Both have really good budgets. You know, both are based on real events and all that. So they both have a lot going for them. Now, here are the differences in story and, let's say, quality, but direction. It's important. Direction of the film. Now, the Flight film with Denzel is told linearly, which means at the beginning, middle, and end. Everything's, goes at the start. Doesn't have backflashes or anything like that. As opposed to Sully, which I haven't seen all the way through, but I saw the end things and heard various reviews about it, and they say it gets a little confusing and needless when they have backflashes to when he was younger, and they say it's weird that the wife only has conversations on the phone in the entire film, and that was really about it. And they have to punch up the antagonistic qualities, of the board or whatever, having to, we're investigating. We have to investigate. Is there, doubt in this? Is there any room for doubt? And that was the only thing about it. They said they had to punch up the antagonistics of the board. That was about it for Sully. For the Denzel one, honestly, I find it very unfair to the character and thus the man behind it. Not the actor, the man, the actual pilot guy. Was that when the plane crashed and there was an investigation, did they do everything they could? No, they found, well, wait, he was under the influence, so he's going to be brought before the board, and punished for being under the influence, even though he pulls off a goddamn fucking miracle. In the worst possible situation, the plane breaks, basically. And he does everything in his power, completely above board, mental wise, to do everything he can to save these people. And despite his blood panel, this guy pulls off this fucking miracle. Which is a fact that is lost on the board. So when he gets there, and yeah, he's a bit of a train wreck of a person, they send him off to jail. I was like, don't send him off to jail. Give him a medal. Take away his license because he broke the law, obviously. Even that's a little 50-50 right there. But still, tell him to go to AA. Give him mandatory AA. That's all he has to do. Don't send him to prison. That's just a dick thing to do. And yes, it showed him being human. He has a horrific drinking problem. He was on, was it cocaine and alcohol? Okay, let's bring up another plane movie just to, get you some idea of what the scheduling is like for these people. American Made, right? The one with Tom Cruise? Yeah. You remember the opening to that one? Where it shows him coming back, being so tired, he just drops dead right there onto his bed and just passes out for 18 hours. Yeah, these guys fly for hours. As much as boring as it is at times, it is horrifically, draining, because I drive for a living, to do that for hours and hours and hours on end. And you have to be on point for all those hours. or at least most of them anyway, because you could probably nap. They take shifts napping, but it is still a demanding schedule. So to say well, I don't understand why he's on it. Like, no, I perfectly understand why. That's why coffee was invented. That's why coffee is allowed. You know, it, people do what they can. Okay, let's say what's it? That what was his name? David Duchovny. David Duchovny in the '90s, I believe it was the late '90s, did a movie called Playing God, and that opening thing was also about I'm a surgeon, I'm one of the best, but I gotta be on point. In order to do that, I need uppers and I need downers. And he says until I lost it, I lost the balance, and then I lost the patient, and I got kicked out, and then it becomes a mafia doctor, basically, a mob doctor. And so that's the problem with trying to be on point when your job is that demanding, is that you try to be there for everything, but the physicality, the limits of human physicality kind of prevent you. That's why you have coffee. That's why people back in the 70s and 80s professionally, not recreationally, professionally took cocaine was to get those scripts in on time. People kind of forget that, but people professionally did this professionally to get their jobs done. That's what happened a lot in Hollywood. If you aren't recreational, you're doing it professionally. Like coffee. It's super coffee. You know, it gets shit done. But again, you don't know about the psychological and health factors of this. The fallout, which is immense, by the way, after 3 to 5 years worth of even, minor use, that shit adds up. But no one really knew about that until some 5 years later after, it hit the scene. So just letting you know, people allow themselves to get caught up in these things to help keep them on point to get their jobs done, because they're professionals and they think, I can handle it, I got this under control, until they don't, and then it all just kind of goes blah blah blah, and they self-destruct. Again, that movie with Denzel, like, man, my heart was out for that guy, that character, because it's like that man pulls off a fucking miracle, and they condemned him for it because he was just trying to do his job beyond the limits of what was humanly capable. That was it. He tried to exceed his limits, which you should never really do on a regular basis, mind you. So direction wise, the Flight movie with Denzel is better because it's told linearly. Um, that's probably the only thing over the Sully movie that the movie has. So they still both good films, sure. Does the direction in the Sully movie feel a bit needless and needlessly complicated? Okay, sure, nothing's perfect. You know, Clint Eastwood wanted to go in a specific direction. All right. But are they bad films? Are they lacking in anything? No, they're films. They're really good films. They're well shot. They take themselves seriously, but they have a bit of a chuckle every now and again. They make light of something or other. But they took themselves seriously, and they took the information they have, the story they're presenting, and presented it well and realistically. They didn't pull any punches. They didn't try to make anyone a female. Aeronauts, or whatever the hell it was called, the hot, not the hot air, but the helium balloonists. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it was two guys in a helium air balloon, but then we decided, to not be historically accurate and make one of them a woman. True story. Yeah, they did that. Yeah, there's some woke politics right there. No. This story needs a woman in it. Why? If it was two guys in a hot air balloon, that still would have been fine. But it's like, no, but it's supposed to be based on true events. And it's supposed to be based on true events, and it's two guys. You can't turn one into a woman and say, there, now it's better. Well, I can drink some water. Again, nothing against female actresses. It's just if you're going to go for something, go for something. You know, if you're supposed to be portraying, you know, historical events, then do so. You know, it's just I'm just glad this era is coming to an end when everyone's just losing so much money and we're realizing, oh wait, we can't pander anymore to the message. We got to actually make money because we're a corporation. Dang it! It's like, yeah. What was your first clue? Ugh. Anyway, mergers this upcoming year is going to be different, especially on the other side of well, Hollywood's going to be different on the other side of things. When it's all just gets back on its feet, it'll be a new paradigm, I believe. 2024 is going to be a new world, a new world. And it's all hope in the coming decades that the asteroid Apophis and that other asteroid don't cause any more problems. And that's all we'll need is like massive upheaval, and then a giant meteor comes and splashes down in the Pacific. Joy, and takes out a quarter-mile of beach, which still is like a $50 billion problem that the world, not say the world, but United States would have to deal with on top of everything else. Anyway, so I'm gonna lay down, and I'm gonna rest up. I am tired for driving all day, 7 hours. My goodness. All right, take care, all, and remember, see you at the movies.